Hello, welcome back in Drawing by Observation. In our last lesson we learned to see depth, and we started with a mural, and we made already the door opening, the door frame, and a little room we could see behind. We want to create the illusion that we can walk from this big room into that little room, but we want to draw an open door with glass windows like in our sketch. So today we're going to draw the open door. The way we see it in reality, we draw it on our paper. And then down here we can also see it's converging into the door frame. Then we got to erase a little bit of the rectangle so we can really see this door in perspective. We can see that the distance of the door on this side, is longer than the distance of the door on this side. And then the thickness of the door we have to draw. Then the knob we see, and the fantasies on the side to make this door work, open and closed. Then we have all the light on this door, and we see this a little bit darker. So we learned all this knowledge to be prepared to draw our open door into our mural, our open door with windows like we can see in our model. So let's draw our open door into our mural. Here we have our mural, and our theme for today is the open door. In our lesson on depth, we drew the rectangle of the other room and the converging lines going to that rectangle. And we have the open door frame, and we have our sketch of our model. So let's draw the open door. What do we know from the open door? That there is a vertical line who cuts the rectangle, and this vertical line is converging into the rectangle of the door opening. We draw it the way we saw it. And then the thickness of the door. And we make it a little bit darker, the thickness, so we can really see that this door got volume. Then I have to erase the rectangle so we can really see that this door is in perspective. Then, for the windows that we see in our model, we have to measure where will come the window. So we start with our eye line. Our eye line will be right here. This will be our eye line. From the picture from our model, we can read that one of the windows is straight line, a horizontal line, so that's where is the eye line. So here I have my eye line, was also the first frame of one of the windows. Then we can see 4 vertical lines, and we measure distance. This will be 1 vertical, and we make vertical all the way down. We can erase the lines were too long or were wrong, but by drawing we get a good view how to draw. So we have here 1 converging line, or eye line horizontal, so this line will also converge, so we draw it converging. We start with the vertical all the way, and we remember we want to draw this open door with windows, and we're going to see the little room through those windows. Here comes that converging line all the way into the point. We stand on the side so you can really see everything very well. We have this line converging and the high line horizontal. The center line goes all the way vertical, vertical down. So, one line converging, one line, the eye line horizontal, and then underneath we have the line converging up. Right here. This line will be converging up. Let me make a little accent in the corners so we really know and see very well where is the window. All here. We finish one window, the second window, an accent on the corners. We have the second window. The third window. The fourth window, the fifth window with the converging up line. The little accent in the corners tells us really where is the window and our last line converging up. If we take a little distance, we can see that all the windows have optical the same size. So we have an open door with 6 open windows. So the only thing we have to do is erase our lines that we drew at the end of our program with depth. And now we know about depth. And for shortening, we can draw an open door. So, and then I color in the thickness of the door a little bit more. And then later I will decide all the details. And here we have an open door with 6 windows. If we look back at our model sketch, we can see that this sketch gets really interesting with the drapery. So in our next lesson, we will draw and talk about drapery and folds. I thank you very much to be with us in Drawing by Observation. Today we spoke about foreshortening, and in our next lesson we will talk and draw folds and draperies. Thank you for being with us in Drawing by Observation. Always time for a finishing touch. Also, in one of our future lessons, we will talk about light. And I already know that the light will be on in our little room, so we can color the whole door dark. Don't forget, if you don't have any more a point on your pencil, you use your sharpener and you sharp a point on your pencil. And we keep on drawing, we practice, because only with practice we can learn how to draw. You still want to know more about open doors? If you look at the picture that I made for you before we started the show, you can see the open door right here, the rectangle, the cut was longer, converging into a shorter line. How do this problem gonna be when we see a door who opens the other side, like in the other picture? When you go out, then you can see that it's converging in the other direction and that the line farther away from you is shorter. You have to make observations of real models and draw real models, so then later when you have in your fantasy a subject you want to draw, you know how to draw it. So thank you for being with us, and see you next time in Drawing by Observation.
Dibujando por observación. Estudie el arte del dibujo básico, en libro o videocassette, en su librería más cercana. El curso completo en una sola obra, Dibujando por observación.